Body on our outlook. Body is an evidence of dynamic thing. When the mind running on the body. Body is an evidence of the dynamic thing when the mind running on the body. It were a frame of our leaders made by the flesh sculpture. It is not a mere flesh sculpture. The flesh sculpture not on the dynamity, because when one the flesh sculpture moved from there, those we want to feel the mind within the body. Those time that become to getting the dynamity. That is our outlooks of the body. The mind is the fuel of the body. Without the mind, the body not turn toward body not to become flexibility, body not to become dynamic. When we want to walk ahead, we want a mind by the fuel, as the fuel, relate to fuel. That is the outlook of the body on our views. Mind on our outlook. Next we checking out mind on our outlook. Mind is a product of the body manufactured with the atmosphere as traveling through the wind from frame to frame as a media of the language. Mind is a product of the body manufactured with the atmosphere as traveling through the wind from frame to frame as a media of the language. So, we believe the mind abide on our length. We believe mind ever time abide on our lengths. So we saying language is language. So we saying language is language. That is our view of the mind. For example, the definition says the mind is a tabula rasa. Mind is a tabula rasa. That is an empty paper or empty slate. Empty slate. And we can check out the almond seed. And we can check out the almond seed. It is a rolled biopaper within the almond seed. That is the rolled biopaper at there by the Almighty. That not rolled by we, that rolled by Almighty. It will indeed the human mind abide. It is indeed human mind abide on our lens as the tabula rasa. The tabula rasa, the almond seed, when we will check out or broke the almond seed, we can find tiny rolled biopaper at there. That related to our length, because when we will plant it almond seed, 1 to 2 week it will driving out leaf, driving out to the extent. Those we can check it almond first two leaf like the human length that related to the our length is language as the transaction forms from the nature to the beings of the human as. If not you believe it almond test, and you can plant it almond seed for the more biotechnological evident both the says. Along the along the 2 to 4 week, the seed to become a plant with first two leaves as a shape of the human length. So must we can decide the human mind abide on our length. Mind where sitting, mind sitting our length, not search anywhere the mind. Okay. Then after we they have a mind, but how travel the mind? The mind has it two parts said as the CJU. Mind has two parts said by the CJU. It is it conscious of the mind and the subconscious of the mind. The conscious mind is traveling with our dynamity for the body when it running on the wait time. Thus, our mind traveling as the common through from the Greenwich to the north, and after our conscious mind traveling by the train to the west. Then the mind turning from the east to the west through on the quarter line to the west. When our mind entered to the west and it turned to the south side of the globe. So we can conclude the conscious way to the common word news. We can how travel our mind, how travel we can check out by the graph. You can check here. They have four part of the conscious: north, east, south, west. How travel the news? News travel from the north named as the N to the east as east. North, what is the news? The news is the conscious way of the north, east, west and the south. It travel with our body. Then north travel to the east with our mind. Those time we get knee. Then the east traveling toward to the west as west throughout on the equator line. Then after when enter to the west it those time that it turning to the south side on the global position to the S. Thus we getting the news. News is the conscious from the four part of the globe. One north, two east, three west, and four south is the turning of our mind. It is that graph. The 0 degree Greenwich line on the middle turning two part dividing two part Greenwich East and Greenwich West. Equator line crossing the middle point of the global shape by the help of the Greenwich. That point including the Pentagonia point. We want equate at there by the Greenwich. So the vastness of the unconscious mind around vastness of the unconscious mind traveling outer side around the globe. The conscious side around conscious side around the globe, unconscious sound, unconscious side, unconscious mind traveling throughout on the way of the outer side of the globe. Inner side have four part of that four part is the north, east, west, south, but that only conscious mind there, but we want to create the conscious by the from the subconscious. So we will make the other part it running as the swastika of the Hitler's swastika symbol says it have four part but running two part as well. The graph of our conscious journey said as the word news. It graph index a conscious journey. If we had a conscious journey and must be has a subconscious journey when it reflect as a mirror. That mirror is running the connective way to the unconscious from the sleep and subconscious from the other part. That is our uh, graph, or when it graph we can cite on mirror, that is our subconscious. The graph of the subconscious mind and it traveling when we will travel inner side of the nose, that ways that must travel to other side as the subconscious. That is the inner side is subconscious, outer inner side is the conscious, outer side is the subconscious. Around the subconscious and the conscious unconscious vastness, widening the unconscious mind. That is the three type of the unconscious into we enter to the death and more. The unconscious line going to the death and more, but we want conscious and subconscious for well living in the conscious planet. That is the graph on the conscious system and the subconscious system on the TAZIST belief.